present you a really, really irresistible, simple thing. We're gonna present you the story of a button. Um, I don't know how many of you heard of Alter Ego or how many of you visited our booth. Okay, that's perfect because we don't want to repeat our information. So we're going to present you the story of a startup. As Alexandra told you, we only have 6 weeks. We only have 6 weeks since we've started this button, and we're going to show you how it was born and how we think is going to evolve through the next period. And of course, if there are other people here who dream to open a startup, just to see how things are done in real life. So I'm gonna let Ovi start the presentation because he was the first one here.
Yeah, we can definitely tell you first why we started this. And I'm sure that it's something which, is it better now?
Yeah.
Which all of you can relate to. I went to a store and I bought a toy for my 2-year-old daughter. And after I bought the toy, they gave me a card. Register here and you get 20% off for all your next purchases. Become a VIP. Yes. I'm gonna do that. Evening comes, I go back home, I go to the website, I hit register, and I'm presented with a login form. Email and password. Confirm the password. Okie dokie. That's good. Every person here has been doing this for a huge time now, and that's how we've all learned that we should behave on the internet. What happened afterwards is, in order to receive the discount, I got promoted. Fill up this form and get 20% off. And it asked me there, how much money do I make? How much money does my wife make? How many toys do we buy? How old is are my kids? How many do I have if I have kids outside of the marriage?
If you want to make more kids,
yeah,
how many
maybe something
kids
like that
are going to make this week and stuff like that?
Yeah, what are their birthdays, and a huge set of information that I really, when I started typing, I just typed because I was just like everybody in here, I was just a monkey. But then halfway through the survey, I started noticing that I am giving these guys a crap load of information, aren't I? I was definitely giving them a lot of information. The website didn't look that good. It was okay-ish. Now instinct tells me that if the website is maybe half-baked, the backend is a mess, and they've got a clear line to the guys doing the contest in the other rooms. And I'm not really willing to, I'm not that private, but I'm not really willing to give up all my precious information just in order to get a discount. Sure, it would be nice, and I'm a cheap bastard and I would love a discount further on. I would even want them to alert me whenever something like a new, maybe they've got a promotion, or when my kids' birthdays come along, maybe they give me something special for them, or they alert me that, look, this is in store now. And I definitely want that, and I would be willing to share that information. But going as far as giving too much felt over the top. Now, the form was long, and I thought, well, I know some programming, and I can script it to fill up with gibberish. Just GUIDs everywhere. How that sound? Well, that really doesn't sit right with me, because I want to give them something in return for those 20% off. And it didn't feel right to not give them anything, but they don't really care what my name is. I'm still gonna go in the store and give them some money for that. So here's where our idea came from. How about if we automate the entire process of registering on any website online?
And on the other side of the story was the non-technical person from this team, and I guess you know who it is. Me, of course.
Yeah.
Who
and he was presented with something like that.
Yeah, actually, I'm an advertiser. Recently, I became really security conscious because, as many of my friends, I'm a regular user, non-technical one, but many of my friends told me that, dude, I don't care if my email is broken. I got nothing to hide. So why we are calling this a button? Because we want to make the product really easy to use and really easy to understand from a broader type of consumers, not only the technical ones. Yesterday when we've held the presentation at our booth, a lot of you asked us, dude, are you kidding me? A button? And I was like, yeah, it's a rectangular stuff. You press it and it fills out a lot of things for you. It's just a button for me, for a regular user.
And
That's why when I needed to fill some a lot of things when I needed to give a lot of information for some sites, I wasn't really scared about leaving my personal information, but frankly, I'm too lazy to put all this information. And if somebody tells me that, okay, you can do this only with a button and really simple and be anonymous, well, that would be better as well.
And all of this here is basic information. Everybody does that on all times. What we are presenting with something like this.
Yeah, it continued. The hell continues.
This.
Yeah.
And it goes on. So we thought, Eureka, why should we fully expose everywhere? So why shouldn't I just give them the stuff that they care about? We shouldn't just be like that on the internet, should we? That's a cool stuff. And probably we aren't just monkeys. We are just naked online, and they know all information that we gave them. And even more than that, when we post something on a website and something else on another website, we are tracked. Usually we're tracked by our email registration, but we are also tracked by cookies and other stuff. Our direct problem that we are trying to solve is registering on a crap load of websites all around the internet and trying to make that button simple.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The guys also know that. So
let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this and see. We're gonna show you how the whole thing was born.
Yeah.
So the first task that
we had in Project Alter Ego was to make sure that we aren't just addressing the technical guys. And in order to do that, a technical person needs to get out of his head. And I'm sure that many of you can relate here. We go all in and we build a lot of technology that only we can use. And I'm very, very culprit of that. So the first task was to find someone that can make it really, really simple and that resonated with the problem, understood it, and wanted to do something to help everybody on the internet on that. So the first task was to find someone really different. And that's how the two of us connected and started this initiative. And yeah, we wanted to be different, but we wanted to resonate with the problem at hand. We wanted to make sure that we're trying to solve the right things and not just steal information, maybe sell it to the third parties. That's one of our core tenets, why we exist. And we don't really have any telemetry and stuff like that to track what people are doing in our platform. So we wanted to be both different and
similar in some cases. So we found out actually that a technical and non-technical person can be really similar without even knowing.
Yeah, and now you think that this is something that only big companies can do. And we have been working with big companies and are working, and we love working there. The problem that we have is that you don't really need an office. You don't really need too much equipment. We are running our backend servers for the cost of 2 Starbucks coffees, and it really scales tremendously. So what our plan is to be, what are we going to do about an office? And we found that our best location is to just sync up on our rooftop and just talk things out.
Yeah, because we're also neighbors. So the first office, it was an office with a view. It was kind of windy, but it was really nice, and it was really productive because we had the first meeting.
Yeah, we had the first meeting, and we definitely had the first result. And this
how it looked. Our first meeting. This was the first meeting notes. But I don't know if you can see there. If I can have another click.
Yes.
That's when Alter Ego was born. So Ovidiu came to me and said, "Dude, I have a really cool idea. Let's do this." So it virtually happened in like 30 minutes, and that's how all it began. So we had the name that was pretty important and all the other crap. So we needed to do a website. So we started sketching at a website. So this was the first website that we built on a paper. and we put it.
And
We
we
try to
started
put it
working on it.
online.
Yep. And we started working. We aren't really web developers, and but we do know some programming. So we thought, how about I listen to a lot of podcasts, and those podcasts have commercials in them, and some of them are for hosting companies that also build your website for a couple of dollars. So we decided to do something like that. To use the pre-built template, and we had a huge rock band, and we were called Cyber Alter Ego.
Yeah, so okay, dude, this is not what
Yeah,
we
rock
were
on.
intending to tell our consumers that we're a rock band. So this was our first attempt to build a website.
And
Well,
you go ahead.
yeah, afterwards we tried to go a bit deeper and build something like this, which was really crappy and wasn't online for not even 30 minutes. And afterwards we've go to a slightly better option. This one, this is our website. Please take a photo with it, or if you want to register, please go to cyberalterego.com. This is homemade, like our grandma's cookies. Yeah.
So we're live for a couple of weeks. We're in public beta for less than a month. Just probably in a couple of days we'll be out for a month. We did a private alpha before, and we've evolved a lot. And right now we're going to tell you a bit. We told you why it matters, and we plan to tell you how we're solving this. We want to show you how we've developed the button to make it that easy, and what it does in the backend, because it's phenomenal what you can do these days with just infrastructure and just some coding skills. So let's tell you a bit about how the button goes.
Yeah, so we had...
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I tell it? So we started like this. I'm trying to fill up the form for my daughter's registration, for my daughter's discount for toys, and I'm thinking, okay, I know how to do some Python, so let me build some script there. And then yeah, I know how the terminal works on the on Linux machines, and I've got something like this. This is the first button. You need to pipe commands. You need to tell it where it should go, what it does. You need to do a very long set of things. I could barely make it work, but it did work, and it had bits and pieces that we are going to use afterwards. And it's really messy, and it shows how the sausage is being made in here, but it's nice to do. So I brought this up with Chip, and that was his response.
Yeah, and I said, oh, dude, this looks really tremendous, man. It's really nice, but let's just make a button. Okay, so you push it and magic happens. Okay, cool.
So that's obviously exactly how I did. We went through various stages, and we also had the feedback of our really close friends. We opened it up in alpha for 10 of our really close friends, not just people that we know, just like you guys, but some maybe living in other countries. We wanted to make sure that we are really testing the product, and when we're coming out with it, it's safe. Most of them are hackers. It's secure. It's private. It doesn't leak information, and also very importantly, for something that's out there and everybody can use it, scales, and it does its job well, and it's as much bug-free as possible. So this is the first version, where I'm just filling up forms in here. If you can see up top, this is the first button. It's setting up new egos for me, and every time I hit refresh, it fills up random information. It gives me an email address, but then we thought, okay, this is a bit intrusive because we're modifying the HTML of the page. So we went out with a browser extension, which this is the first one. It looked miles better than the alpha one. Almost it's a bit of a joke between us, but we only iterated on changes on alpha 1, 3, and 7, and we did tech backend changes on the even ones. Yeah. So this is how it it evolving. If you can notice here, we've got the passwords in clear text, and they thought, okay, someone may be shoulder surfing. So this is just another critical piece of feedback that we've got. So how about if we just see it when you hover it? So that's what we've done. We iterated further. So this is alpha 7 here. It does the interface started having less clutter. It's better for you guys when you're browsing the web. You don't really care about buttons doing their backend work. What's really important is that the information is there. So then we had one very productive beer night when we decided this is too much as well. So we went with something like this. This is beta.
We've tried to reduce as much as possible the load of information that you're exposed to, because either you're a technical or a non-technical person, the time and the information that you're exposed to is the same, right? So we want to make things really, really simple for all of you people. That's why we're trying to simplify all of this as much as possible. The previous version, for example, they worked really fine, but they were covering a lot of page. So, okay, what the hell is happening?
Yeah,
So this
that
is beta right now.
page real estate is quite important. So we figured that early, and let us tell you now a bit about what this button is good for. You've kind of seen a bit in Alpha 1, and we've been telling you bits and pieces of information. Let's go ahead and tell you everything that it does in the backend. So let's see what this button is actually really good for.
Well, yeah, first of one is saying crap on internet. You never know what's gonna happen and how it's going to backfire, you know. I recently made recently a few years ago I posted a photo with a car which we thought it belonged to the church, and things got wrapped up. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, but when you try to get a job somewhere, everything that is written down, and especially written down in your name or written down with your email address, is easily tracked down by, I'm not trying to pick on, but it's tracked down by HR, and you get flagged that's not being the type of person that should be working there. And that's the basic example, but maybe even when you try to meet a friend online, you Google them, or when you try to meet a new business partner, or I don't know, associate, potential lover or stuff.
So yeah, that's the basic thing that you do. Firstly, you Google them.
Exactly. So yeah, we're very conscientious of that. And now let's see a bit. This was about the name and the person. Let's talk a bit about your email address, which is really private and you hold it dear. So who here knows this website? Have I been pwned? Okay, that's a huge crowd. So, and that's perfect. And this is one of my email addresses. I've been already pwned 4 times. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to minimize the number of pwnds that you get. It's inevitable that websites will be hacked. What we ideally want is that, and what we're aiming for is that all our email addresses, the ones that we give it to you for free, the aliases for your email addresses, only appear to have just 1 pound each if it happened somewhere. And then you have the power and you know what to do about that. It's a unique identifier between you and every entity online where you register. And so you know if something, they either be hacked or information has been leaked. But those two sets of data are very important, and you know if something happened. You are now in control. And we've also uncovered that it's good for something as well, side thing. And it's
well, I think we all know that from a psychological point of view, if you're covered by an anonymous identity, you can be more honest on the internet. Maybe you have a problem and you need to solve to see what's on the internet, what are the solutions, but you don't want to log in with Facebook. Maybe you want to say something really honest about a thing, but you don't want to expose your own personality. So what you can do with this button is to log in anonymous with another ID and just say whatever you think about a product, let's say, or whatever it comes on the internet.
Political views. There's also we just learned from our friends that visited the stands that it's extremely useful in medical situations. Everybody browses online when they have a cough or something, and everybody browses what does Dr. Google say when I've got something even worse than that, and no one wants to write on a form on their name that something grown or it's bad. What do I do? Or even maybe STDs or other sort of disease that you really want to learn more about, but you still want to keep your privacy and be able to just do a good job afterwards. So that's something really collateral that we're really glad we're fixing, and that's awesome.
Of course, a lot of people told us that, okay, so you're going to generate a lot of hate on the internet. Well, actually, the haters or the trolls will be on the internet with or without us. If you're a troll or you want to make hate comments, you'll do it either way. So
perfect. So now demo time comes. Let us show you how easy it is to just run it. Let me open a browser window. I've got here, whoops, it's good. This is our website, and you probably don't care about that. We've got a browser extension, which is out on the right. It's the only one installed here for this browser. And we're going to go to a website that you normally register. Let's use a really big brand name, and we're going to go to Twitter. And just watch up top the extension, what it does. Right here, it just saw that this is a form. Let me make it a bit bigger. It just saw that it's a form. And it saw that this is some information that I can provide as alter ego. And I can help you guys do that. And it's really, really easy. What an user needs to do is just go here. You've got an identity. Your name is Mary here. And you press one button.
And magic happens. Well, actually, people were really astonished about this, not because it's very, really technical and it's not I think very, very evolved, but it's just magical how it fills all the form by itself. The effect is just wonderful.
Exactly, and it gives you all the information that you need. These are all the information about Mary that we are generating so far. And the email address that you saw there, 247 something something, this is just a proxy, an alias. All the email that Twitter sends also go through this alias, but they end up on your personal Gmail account. But when a website gets hacked, or when your information gets leaked, it's this unique email is just like it's unique in the world, and you're only going to use it on this website. So you know if something happened, this is where it's fishy. And we've got also a backend console. And in here, you saw that I've already registered on some websites, and I'm going to do refresh now. And you see this is Mary from Twitter. I've got all her details here. And if I don't really care about this account, and maybe I don't think that Twitter will get hacked, but maybe they will get hacked a couple of times, and I don't want this account, I can just delete it. And now there's absolutely no way ever possible for them to connect that information back to you. It's just like it's the best spam filter ever. But we aren't really doing that. We're trying to protect personalities. And let's see, okay, Twitter is back. And we want to do more accounts. I'm going to do a refresh on the browser, and let me see if I can create one again. This is Riley's. I don't really care about the Riley's. I can, let me see more information, and let me try again. And I want you to create something else. This is Samantha. I don't want to be a Samantha. I don't want to be a Nicholas, maybe a couple of times. And when I'm set, okay, Max. I love Max, so let me do a Max. And then I'm just, this is it. You've got, instead of Mary, which was the previous one, you've got Max now, and you're on Twitter as Max. This is for registering on new accounts, but we can also do that for all the websites online. Let's go to another one that everybody uses. It's LinkedIn. I'm going to go to LinkedIn, and I'm going to try to register. If you see the button just popped up that I can register, and I'm filling all the information, and this is me on LinkedIn. I can use this information, or I can change my name there instead of Johnny to be Ovidiu Diaconescu, and still use the protected email addresses. I'm doing that for all my social network accounts that I use at home, for Dropbox and stuff. I don't really use that much, but for everything that's not email, I'm using that. I'm using my real name on Facebook and on LinkedIn. It's against their terms of service not to do that, and I don't want to do that. We aren't enabling spammers. We're just protecting everybody that needs that extra set of attention online. And that's about it. Let's go ahead with, enter.
This stuff's always happened in presentations.
Yeah, the presentation, the gods weren't with us tonight. So let's go ahead. Chip will tell you a bit more about.
Yes, so we're going to show you what we are planning for the future with this button.
Yeah, we've got a huge set of ideas, and we know that we're onto something really well. And we know that because you don't see each other, but I see some of you laughing and smiling, and maybe wanting to use that when you get home, and it's free to use, and it's free for as many websites as you want online. And it's always going to be free. It's never tracked. We have two websites. One is our one is our presentation website, where we do have Google Analytics just to know how we can use people better, but our dashboard has no analytics on it at all. Our backend has no analytics on it at all. We don't care who you are. The only thing that we ask is at the start is just to know that you're a human being that has an email which we can forward stuff to, and that's it. this is what we've got so far. And about what's coming, we've got a couple of things. You've seen what information we're filling right now for Samantha on Twitter, what was her name, maybe Brandon or something, and on LinkedIn. So we've got, these are the new things that are coming right now. And we've got them on the pipeline. They should be coming really well. We're doing something really cool and amazing with the phone numbers. There are websites where you need to register, you get a text message back, and you need to fill in the code. So those text messages, I don't care about your phone number. Those text messages will appear on your dashboard, and you're going to see them there. The phone number that gets allocated to you is a phone number that you can use for 24 or 48 hours just to get the notification that you need. And if you need it afterwards, we're going to give it back to you. But that's only part of the story. We're also doing something else. We're doing credit cards as well. And these are real credit cards that are generated on the name, on the alternate identity that you want. These are actually debit cards, and you can go purchase something in China or somewhere else, not put your data there. It's really coming. We are working on partnerships to make this cheap. Right now, it's a sort of an expensive after cost, but we are doing the cost. The cards are valid Visa cards. They have on them just the exact amount that you want and that you need to purchase everything that you need in there. And I've used that. I've used one of my accounts to purchase more toys, and the cost of the toys was around $22 from a website in China, not AliExpress, but something else, where I wouldn't want to post my information, even though it was SSL around and stuff, but still. So I used a credit card, debit card like that. The total cost went up by around $10, and I think that's not fair. We are planning to grow like hell and bring this cost down really to something like 50 cents. Maybe $1, and this is really decent because right now for a $20 two set of toys, you don't really want to pay 50% extra for privacy, but you would be able to pay $1. And when you're going to buy a new MacBook or something which is $700 or more, $10 don't really matter. But for small purchases, that is the bulk of the small transactions. That's not fair, and we want to make it really, really as cheap as possible, but still be able to use the privacy that we are offering, be able to use that card and purchase anywhere, and ship it to the address that you want, and we're also probably working on something like that as well.
Well, yeah, in the future.
And let's see what's coming, number 2. This is one of our ideas that we want your feedback upon. We're trying to fill as much information as possible. But sometimes when you go on a Polish website, or a French website, or a Swedish or Greek one, maybe we don't fill the fields right. Just because everybody codes HTML differently, and not really codes, but maybe they do naming differently. And we thought, okay, so let's use a dictionary to map properly. But that solution only took us so far, and we're doing that. But right now what we're implementing is we're making an AI, and every time you help the platform to fill a code, or you just type it by hand, or we also have a copy button within the extension. When you do that, we are all teaching the platform to be better. We're all teaching both the platform, and afterwards we can maybe use the way our machine learned and tell the guys maybe create a standard. This is way too outrageous. In the start, we just want to make it better, and we thought that the two of us can scale. But we can scale with everybody that uses our extension, and we can scale just by using some computation there. And we really don't need that many people to do that, which is phenomenal. And this is Chip's favorite.
Well, yeah, the coolest one is, I think everybody knows what's happening with login with Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure that most of you avoid this step or just have another fake email or fake Facebook or fake LinkedIn, wherever. Well, we're planning to launch the button also as an alternative for logging in to different sites. So you log in anonymous with alter ego.
What that happens, the backend is very complicated, but in order to use it, in this scenario, you don't even need a browser extension. It works just everywhere. Everything that you do, it's an OpenID Connect server in the backend. We don't really care about, we just obsolete passwords. Because just the tokens between our server and the website that you want certify that you are a real human being. And that you are who you say you are, that you aren't a bot or a script or something. that you are a valid person that wants to have access to some resources and cares about what's in there. And this information is really valuable to register online. What we had the number 3.1 idea, which is even better, and it takes this a couple of steps further. So what we thought is, or we already know that you're a trusted user, and we love you for that, and we know that you aren't scams or bots, because our platform tries to protect against that. So tying that with the scenarios that Chip was telling you, the ones that we're already doing really well, the ones about privacy online and being able to comment on websites and everything. Right now, when you go to comment on a blog or a news agency, you are presented with something like this. So you need to fill your name. You don't really want your name, and then maybe you won't comment at all. Then they want your email address, but you don't really want to give them an email address, and maybe some of you use disposable email address, or you just have a Yahoo Mail just for spam, like I do, or I used to do. And so that's still a bit too complicated. And what that happens, if you are a bit aware about how the online markets work, bloggers and news agencies, they have hundreds of thousands of views and 20 comments. Is that fair? From those 20 comments, do you think that, are they able to see or sense what their audience is feeling? We don't think it's right, and it's not right because right now this process is way too complicated to do that.
Well, actually, it's just a thing of commodity, man. Come on, I mean, let's forget about this and maybe just log in with another button with alter ego and comment as another user, protected one. And if you do that, maybe you'll have a more open and more honest review about something on a website. And of course, if you're scared about, as I told you, haters and things that you can do when you're not connected with your real personality, well, most of the comments are already screened by somebody. So,
yeah, if you want to be evil online, it's easy to be evil online. Everybody who wants to be evil online finds a way to be evil online. And we are sure that this software, as any software, can be used for malicious purposes as well. So it's just a risk management thing. We think we can do it better than others. And we know that we are helping everybody that has a public thing, a public blog, a public website, a public news, anything, feed, anything that requires comments. Right now they're curating it a lot, and they care about, they are stripped about the information that tells them the black side of the story, the other side of the story, the information. They're already stripping everybody that's swearing. They are stripping stuff that they may really need that. It's helpful for a blogger to know if his articles are just provoking swears in his viewership. Maybe he can adapt to that, and we can help here.
Yeah, we are stimulating communication, basically.
So yeah, we're leveling for everybody that maybe is or is not a hater. We're giving them the possibility to do that. And I think I've read a survey, just like everybody trusts the British scientists or something, or the American scientists from the University of something, right? And exactly. And they said that out of all the human beings here, 1% of us are always evil. 1% is always good. 98% just depends. We can be or we can't be evil. It just depends on the circumstances. And what we're doing right now, we can't protect for the 1% that are evil, but we're trying to. The one that are really, really well, those are the ones that post online right now. And those are the ones that the bloggers and the news agencies are interacting to. What we're doing is we're actually liberating the rest of the 19% of the feedback that they may want. And that's huge for them.
Well, yeah, it's pretty fine.
So that's about it. We're doing addresses next. We're doing company names. We're doing phone numbers, just like we told you, and credit cards. We're also doing the AI to make sure that we're doing a much, much better job for all of you that trust us right now. We're doing the OpenID Connect server, and we want to push it to, we're also building the backend so that the bloggers just need to do one click, and they've enabled alter ego comments. And What do you think? Any other ideas?
Yeah, and if you have
We've
questions,
been talking
please.
for a while. We need to get a glass of water. So,
Well, yeah,
what do
you
you
have
think?
water
Any
there.
ideas? Shoot.
Hey, how about offline saving? So I want to save my details in an offline, let's see, a CSV file, and I want to export that to a different place, a different computer.
That's perfect. And let me see if I got the information correct. You want from our dashboard to export the real information, just because maybe you want to leave alter ego and go use it in some place else. And we had that. It's in our topmost list. We use an agile approach to build software. It's just not built yet, but it's coming, and it's coming really soon. And we're going to be building both exports and imports, so that we're doing some password management, but we aren't doing it just right, and we aren't offering all the features that a professional password manager does, like LastPass or OnePassword, or maybe others that are built into browsers. And we love them, and we don't want to step on their toes. They do a very, very good job. But maybe sometimes you want to export something from there and import it on our platform. Maybe sometimes you want to export something from us and send it there. That's absolutely perfect, and you can do that. And I can top it off with something else. If you're an enterprise or a company and wants to have direct access to our backend, we also have a public API.
Another question is who will handle the proxy performance? So let's say you will pick up, you'll have a very great, you'll have a success, and you'll have a great number of people accessing your.
Good question about the performance, and that's perfect. We are using we are scaling our servers, our backend servers, and we're actually, for some of the proxies, we're relying on third parties. We've built the entire software really, really easily. We knew some coding, and we knew how to put bits and pieces together, and we're relying a lot on open source technology. And yes, we are able to pay more, to scale more. And when we scale more, I'm sure that it's a good problem to have. I want to have that problem. Give it to me now. It's the best problem to have, because we can just pay and have more servers. But if we have that much traffic, it means that we're doing something right. And we've attracted some either small businesses, which we probably are helping a lot. We're targeting maybe small businesses that do QA and need to automate like 100 email lists and just to do automation on top. We are targeting news agencies or marketing.
Yeah, or marketing agencies who need more emails and more egos or alter egos and users to write reviews for the product, or to see what their team up to on the internet.
Exactly, and they are really, really happy to pay. They want to pay because they want priority support, and they want to make sure that there's someone at the other end of the line. And yeah, the phone that I'm haven't given so far, but I plan to give, is actually the phone that my mother calls me in. So it's really, I don't have anything to hide. I want to be a good person with them. I want to help them, and I want to help them grow, and they can help us grow at the same time. So did it answer your question?
One final question. How can we trust you that you don't sell our original email to
Exactly, and that's the perfect question. We've answered this a lot of times. From your perspective, it just matters where do you want to risk. From our perspective, we will gain your trust by size. When you all trust Google and other companies to some extent, but you trust it with the email. And as we are growing, you are going to trust us because we don't do anything fishy on the back end. All the information that we see is just the proxy email address that you want to send. Everything else is encrypted on our table storage on our back end. Everything, the keys are yours. We don't see what's in there. We don't use any telemetry at all right now to track you, or to know who you are, or where you've been, or what you're doing, or the websites that you're traveling to. We do plan in the nearby future to protect you against being hacked on alter ego, so that your identities are safe. For example, we're going to try to, we're working with Cloudflare as a front end for us, and also we're pushing a lot of traffic to them. So we've got an option with them, or some other sort of companies, to make sure that if you are in Romania now and you're in China 3 seconds later, maybe we'll ask your passphrase again. Because either your account has been stolen, which is bad, and we don't want to share information, or you're just using a VPN like CyberGhost, and it's perfectly fine. You just enter your password again. This is the sort of information, all banks do that. This is the sort of information that we do plan to use, and as we scale more, I think it will help keep our data safer than it can be. Thank you. Next.
So you are going to link a fake identity to a real bank account to make
Yes, we're doing that through our PCI compliant partner, and we are leveraging for purchases Braintree payments. We just send you an invoice via the way that you've used to maybe register on our website. If you're a pro user, or if you're not a pro user, we're just gonna ask for a PayPal. It works with either PayPal or credit cards, and it doesn't matter. This is a good side thing, but you can register to porn, and you're gonna see on your invoice it's gonna be alter ego tax or something. So yeah, the wife doesn't know.
I want to hire a killer, maybe.
Sorry?
Maybe I want to hire a killer and maybe.
If you want to hire a killer, I think you'll find a suitcase for that as well.
Or use your service. It's easier.
Sorry?
Or use your service. It's easier.
Well, of course, there's a risk there, but bad people will be bad people with or without us, as we've told you.
We're trying to leverage the playing field so that everybody has at least basic free protection as much as possible. The ones that want to do harm are the 1% that I told you about before. They will always do harm, with or without alter ego. We are doing our best to make sure that we are limiting the amount of harm that they do. And you've asked us about trust. This is the only thing that we can do, is promise you that we're doing that. And we've shown you a bit of the things that we're doing. And I want to tell you a bit, you can find us in all these browsers. And all the extensions for the browsers are soon to be open sourced, and they will be on GitHub. In order for us to appear on these three app stores, browser stores, extension stores, something, we had our code reviewed by the Google and Firefox and Opera. They all said it's okay. They said it's not okay because they dropped us first because we didn't have a privacy policy that had bolds in certain things, or we didn't have icons with proper sizes or stuff. But once we fixed those things, it was we never had an issue with them from a coding standpoint. And they did that because our extension can be intrusive, because it modifies the data on your website, and you fill in fields that are highly sensitive, like passwords. So that's why when they see that, I think we're triggering some of their algorithm that a human being needs to review our code. And it's been reviewed by them, and it's going to be reviewed by an entire community. Really.
So if Google trusts us, well, that's a pretty good sign for a start.
Good. Thank you. So let's talk a bit more. We're extremely active online.
Sorry, we have another question.
Sure, go ahead. It's question time.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Please just ask us the question. Please be open, because your feedback is really, really important for us. As we've told you, we're only here for 6 weeks. So we have about 52 users, which is a lot. Trust us, on a startup for us.
This morning we have 52. Yesterday evening we had 46. Past the private alpha we had 10, but we've grown to 33 just before beta. And we are doing in the world of small projects, they are looking for hockey stick growth, something like this. We aren't doing that yet, but we're sure that we're just here.
Yes, so who knows, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks we're going to have 30 millions. Who knows?
That's true. Okay, so I have 2 questions for you.
Cool.
One is regarding the military password. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can show you how a password looks like.
Okay, it's military because it's really, really strong and bulletproof, actually. And
this is how your password looks like.
Well, I don't think you see it from there, but it has like 30-something characters or something like that. That's why we call it military password, because you're using, as far as I know, a really, really hard encoding data.
Yeah, we use the system secure random. We just don't use normal random generators that rely on the CPU time. We use the secure ones, which are really encryption uses, and we're generating that based out of a dictionary of characters. And what we do, we are trying this one with our AI, because on some websites you won't be able to log in with a password like this because it's too long, or it has a question mark or something. So we're tying our AI to make sure that some websites have a different set of rules. That's number 2, but we're also doing number 1 right now, which is if they're using jQuery validator or other things, we read the rules there and we generate a password that's based to their rules and is as secure as possible.
Okay.
Sometimes we don't get it right. It's a beta product, so help us make it better.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Help us help you.
And another question is regarding the email. What about, observed that the email contains cyber alter ego every time. What about if this will be, let's say, blocked at the moment by, I don't know, some of the companies will not allow you to use an email from
That's a
this?
very, very good question. And we know about that. That's why our plan is to grow with you guys. With you as the primary users, there is a feature to invite your close friends that can benefit for something like this since yesterday, or something like else. We don't plan to market it that much. We haven't done a lot of outside the community things. We're only talking to tech fellows and maybe bloggers and journalists. We don't want to have it be mass market right now. We want it to be for persons that love it, and for their friends, and for their friends' friends, and so on. And if this happens, and when this picks up, it's not a question of if, but how our graphs grow. When this happens, we will be so big that all the websites won't be able to block all the cyber alter ego emails. We have a backup plan, but we don't want to use it because it goes against our core values. We could be using like 10 domains. You can be generating domains all over. And for businesses, we're also doing something else. We can have a subdomain of theirs, push MX records to us, and we'll be making emails directly on their business account. But that doesn't sound right, and we're trying to do the good thing. Even we either succeed or we go to dust, and that's it. We are bootstrapping this. We don't really need funding. We're really well just making it on our own, and we want to push it as much as possible.
Okay.
What do you think about the strategy? I'm not sure if it's right.
I think it's good.
I was joking.
I think it's good. But definitely, at the moment in time, if problems will show up, definitely, I think you'll find a solution.
We've also hit something like that exactly with Facebook. We've generated some Facebook accounts, and we use on our own, and which are valid accounts. But for the demo and at our booth for the few days, we're just asking people, tell us a website where you want to register, and we're trying it. Everybody was telling us Facebook, 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 Facebook. After the 20th login, Facebook started asking secure codes that were sent in the email. And that's right, and it's very, very well that they've done that. And we've definitely, since those are valid email addresses that get pushed to your Gmail, you see that. You can click the activation link from there, you can see the activation code there. And once you did that, everything is just fine with them.
Yeah, honestly, I believe that the Facebook account is going to be a problem because Facebook learns very well from all this activity, and I don't think that's going to.
We don't want to create fake Facebook accounts, and it's against both the terms of service of Facebook and against LinkedIn. What we are doing and what I'm doing for my account is I'm just protecting my email address. I want to just change settings, change email, and I generated a new ego there. Even if it gave me a fake name or something, I didn't use that. I'm just using the alternate email address. And when LinkedIn got hacked, my account got blocked on some other places. Something like this won't happen.
Yeah, and actually, if you want to create a fake name, you can just do it by yourself. Just make a brand new email and write crap on Facebook. It's really that easy. So if Facebook wants our data, it can just ask for it, in a really nice way, and maybe we'll give it to them.
Yeah, it has it already. So
sorry,
it has it already. But thank you. That was a really good question, and yeah, we appreciate that. Cool. Just one more question. We need to wrap up. We're out of time. Are we done? Yay. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Woohoo! Well, this is pretty awesome, man.